These are dark times for our nation as my beautiful home, Mar-a-Lago in Palm Beach, Florida, is currently under siege, raided, and occupied by a large group of FBI agents. Nothing like this has ever happened to a president of the United States before. After working and cooperating with the relevant government agencies, this unannounced raid on my home was not necessary or appropriate. It is a prosecutorial misconduct, the weaponization of the justice system, and an attack by the radical left Democrats who desperately don't want me to run for president in 2024, especially based on recent polls, and who will likewise do anything to stop Republicans and conservatives in the upcoming midterm elections. Such an assault could only take place in broken third world countries. Sadly, America has now become one of those countries, corrupt at a level not seen before. They even broke into my safe. What is the difference between this and Watergate, where operatives broke into the Democratic National Committee? Here in reverse, Democrats broke into the home of the 45th president of the United States. The political prosecution of President Donald J. Trump has been going on for years. Did he talk about himself in the third person? With the now fully debunked Russia scam, impeachment hoax 11, impeachment hoax number 2, and so much more. Did they mean impeachment hoax 1? It just never ends. It is political targeting at the highest level. Hillary Clinton was allowed to delete and acid wash 33,000 emails after they were subpoenaed by Congress. Absolutely nothing has happened to hold her accountable. She even took antique furniture and other items for the White House. I stood up to America's bureaucratic corruption. I restored power to the people and truly delivered for our country, like we have never seen before. The establishment hated it. Now, as they watch my endorsed candidates win big victories and see my dominance in all polls, they are trying to stop me and the Republican Party once more. The lawlessness, political persecution, and witch hunt must be exposed and stopped. I will continue to fight for the great American people. Fucking Christ. We're all gonna die. All right, you want to watch some lib shit? Let's watch some lib shit.
Fox News alert. The FBI has raided former President Trump's home in Mar-a-Lago. Feds were executing a search warrant. President Trump issued a statement on the raid saying this: "These are dark times for our nation, as my beautiful home, Mar-a-Lago in Palm Beach, Florida, is currently under siege, raided." Absolutely enrage the country, especially the Republican base, a base that is clearly behind the ex-president.
Trump supporters are calling for a civil war after FBI search of Mar-a-Lago. Civil war is coming to America, one Trump supporter wrote. After news broke that the FBI searched former President Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago home on Monday, his supporters openly called for an armed, violent response and ultimately civil war. Civil War 2.0 just kicked off, one user wrote on Twitter, with another adding, "one step closer to a kinetic civil war." Others said they were ready to take part. "I already bought my ammo." MAGA, QAnon, and far-right message boards and Telegram channels lit up on Monday night with calls for a violent response to what some extremists see as a political attack directed by the Biden administration. "This is how you light the match to a civil war," one user on a Twitter wrote in response to the news. Similar rhetoric was shared on the far-right channels on Telegram. "Civil war coming to America. There won't be any more elections," one member said. "A total war on dissidents is about to unfold. Not behind closed doors, but blatantly in public." Another member wrote in a different far-right channel, "Attacks on Alex Jones, Trump, and Patriot Day defendants are only setting the precedent for the future of us as the only opposition to the deep state." In QAnon channels, there were some conflicting responses, with some conspiracy believers calling for an armed responses, while others suggested that the FBI was all part of the plan. Of course. Fat-ass Americans, when you tell them something happens, their response is, "Oh, that means I could just keep eating my treats and keep doing exactly what I'm doing." That's one of the things is like, the hover round brigade is not going to do shit. Like, as much as they want to talk, they're just so fucking, they're nothing. They're nothing. One prominent QAnon influencer known as QAnon John is urging followers not to call for a civil war, as this, the influencer said, is what the deep state wants them to do. Within hours of the FBI search, the term civil war was already trending on Twitter, and hundreds of Trump supporters had already gathered outside Mar-a-Lago. Some claimed on Telegram channels that they were there to protect the former president.
You look at the CPAC straw poll, dominating it.
Von Mex,
you look
next
at
to the prime.
Straw poll they did for the Turning Point event. He dominated it. He is clearly the front runner.
Jesse, it almost feels like a preemptive coup. We've heard so much about the insurrection and the coup, but this is meant to prevent Donald Trump from being able to run again. This is undermining our faith in not only the peaceful transfer of power, but in the executive arm of the government under an opposition party not to act like the Stasi, not to act like the secret police that we've seen in totalitarian regimes. This is crazy. I mean, everyone has to understand they ordered a raid on former President Trump's home based on what?
Rep. Anthony Sabatini says it's time for us in the Florida legislature to call an emergency legislative session and amend our laws regarding federal agencies, sever all ties with the DOJ immediately. Any FBI agent conducting law enforcement functions outside the purview of our state should be arrested upon sight. Is Florida going to secede? Florida secession? Here's the GOP leader, the minority leader in the House of Representatives, Kevin McCarthy. Here's his response. Attorney General Garland, preserve your documents and clear your calendar. I've seen enough. The Department of Justice has reached an intolerable state of weaponized politicization. When Republicans take back the House, we will conduct immediate oversight of this department, follow the facts, and leave no stone unturned. Attorney General Garland, preserve your documents and clear your calendar. Prepare yourself for some really, really intimidating energy, chat.
Well, hey, don't mind me. Just getting ready for my IRS audit. I know this is about to come. Listen, I'm just like you. I've seen what happened to Trump. Yeah, it's go time. Everybody knows exactly what I'm talking about. The Democrat Nazis have gone too far. Just look at what they've said in the Senate in the past. Look at all the ammunition the IRS is buying up. Look at the new classification they come out with the MVEs. I fit that description quite nicely. Yeah, if you followed me on my other account, follow me on this one as well. Don't let them shut me up. Every time I come across one of you who have lost your account due to the Democrat Nazis on the Democrat Nazi app, I follow you.
He has a cross over his flag. I don't know if you guys can see that. This dude needs to take a shower, man. Holy fuck.
In this new bill they just drew up, the one about the guns and, all that good stuff, they've included in it $80 billion set aside to pay IRS agents to come and take our weapons. So it's going to be the IRS coming to do it. Well. You want to know how to combat this? Stop paying your taxes.
Yes! Yes! Conservatives, stop paying your taxes. Yeah! Yeah! Just right before they hire more fucking IRS agents, go out there and openly tell people not to pay their taxes. Yeah!
If 100,000 people got together, if 50,000 people got together and quit paying taxes, another million would follow suit. Everybody's waiting for the next man to take action. So all we got to do is just freaking take action, man. As soon as people that love our cause and are supportive of our cause see us doing it, they're going to follow suit. In this new bill they just drew up, the one about the guns and, all that.
What is it about conservatives and sitting in either their bedroom or their car for 100% of their videos?
We're getting close. So things are going to get really messy, but we're getting close. The committee. So should be somewhat happy. Just look at what's going on.
Good morning, TikTok. Nothing
Top
funny
J.
about this post.
He's a top G.
HR 4350 is a bill in the House that they have already passed. It lets the Democrats put Biden as a dictator over military and everything, which means Biden will go into martial law. When we go into martial law, they're only...
She's talking about the military budget. and it hasn't passed the Senate. It didn't even happen.
Coming after conservatives and people trying to save America. This is no longer a joke. There's nothing funny about this.
Yes, it says in the Constitution that the president is the commander-in-chief. What that means is the president is superior to the military. We have what's known as civilian control of the military, so we won't have an accidental military junta. So it's clear what the lines of command are. I looked into it, and moving to China is possible, but actually very difficult. See, the thing about China is, like, they are trying to develop their country, trying to catch up. They have a lot of people that they don't have enough, say, like, housing for. So as far as, like, immigration, it's pretty difficult.
We have got to wake
Which I
up
disagree
and
with,
fight.
but it is what it is.
Fight like you've never fought before. I will go out in a blaze of glory before I turn against my Heavenly Father or before I turn against this country. Know that.
What? You don't know that's what we've been waiting to hear? Say when. Act accordingly.
SBR, if you don't know, chat, refers to short-barreled rifle. It's basically these, like, modifications, typically to the AR platform, but not always, that allow you to have, like, an AR that's, like, super, super short. So they call them pistols. It's just dumb as fuck.
Dear Combat Area Commandment Generals, there's 12 of you guys. You are witnessing open treason against your country. We, the people, ask you to do something about it. Now, I know a couple things that most Americans don't know.
So you're calling for literal sedition and treason. He's calling for an actual military coup. U.S. conspiracist is this guy's name.
There's only two people that give you orders. Secretary of Defense, the President of the United States, who was known to have committed treason when we all found out about it during the Trump-Ukrainian phone call. The public has known about Biden's treason since 2019. How long have you guys known about it? Now, you combat area commanders, 11 of you are Trump appointees. Charles Flynn, you were appointed by Biden. But I know you're still a loyalist. We have 12 generals that are loyal to Trump. The Secretary of State and the President of the United States are the two only people that could tell them what to do. They run the whole military. What I am getting at, combat area commanders, there's only two people that stand in the way of bringing freedom to your country. Please bring justice.
I love this shit. I could look at these hogs all day, Chad.
Hey, Patriot standing by. Thank God I seen your video this morning, because I would have totally forgotten. See, here in Kentucky, a strange thing is happening too. Look at that phenomenon up there. It's where the sun, it kind of hazes behind the clouds. That's exactly what happens when it's time to take over the fucking government.
Oh, this guy's wearing a uniform. This guy's wearing a uniform. I don't think he's in the military. This haircut looks pretty non-standard. I'm seeing hair touching those ears. I don't think that's standard hair. I don't think that haircut's in regulations, sir.
Not in the slightest. It's pointless to hide if you're trying to send a message. They're more afraid of us than we are of them. They signed H.R. 1808. and barricaded themselves in.
There is no fucking shot this guy's in the army.
So we got the weaponization of the FBI and law enforcement on...
Excuse me. Or there's no shot that he's in the military, the Army or the Marines.
True red-blooded, patriotic Americans. Just wait until the IRS is weaponized against every single one of us. And then they seize guns or try to seize the guns through tax audits. 87,000 new fully armed and trained IRS agents are about to start knocking on doors, folks. That makes the IRS the biggest federal institution in America, bigger than the Pentagon, CIA, I think all of them, honestly. And they're armed to the fucking teeth. So I guess just keep sitting back and letting them shove it right up our asses.
It's like every single... these guys run off of like the Chud assembly line, and it's fucking great. Okay, there's like infinite of these videos. Let's see if we... we found ourselves a thumb. All right, hold on. We gotta watch this one.
Sorry, kid. Fuck all you fake ass motherfucking politicians and all you fucking bullshit. You know what? As far as I'm concerned, it's a wild, wild west, motherfuckers.
He's speaking quietly because his wife is in the room and he doesn't want her to get mad and tell him to be quiet.
Get it on.
It's even funnier than I thought. All right, hold on.
I wonder if everybody went to a social media platform and said to the government, remove the corrupt politicians or we'll follow the law and do what we're allowed to do. I wonder how quickly they would be removed if everybody rock hard meant what the fuck they said. I wonder.
She's starting to understand. She's starting to get it. But never mind. She didn't get it. All right, now, this is what I would call the average. This is exactly what the average Civil War predictor looks like. This is the quintessential example. Also, I love the drop ceiling with the exposed fluorescent lighting that's burned out. This guy's got the drip.
For all you fools up here in D.C. coming after our Second Amendment rights, our First Amendment, and thinking that you guys run something, let me tell you something. Oh, let me remind you, we the people, me, everyone out here that paid your freaking salary, we're not going to put up with your bullshit. I'm going to tell you something. Send them knocking. We'll send them back in a body bag. And that's what I got to say. Everybody's with me. If you're with me on this, duet this. Let's send DC a message. Peace, love, and chicken grease, y'all.
Man who fired nail gun at FBI building called for violence on Truth Social days after Mar-a-Lago search posted, I tried attacking the FBI shortly after shooting. Congressman Green. Ricky Schiffer, who shot into an FBI field office, had posted this in reply to Marjorie Taylor Greene in May. Congresswoman Green, they got away with fixing elections in plain sight. It's over. The next step is the one we used in 1775. Ricky Schiffer, who died after a shootout with police and while fleeing the FBI office in Cincinnati today, was at the Capitol riot on January 6th. He told users to shoot FBI agents on site on Truth Social after Monday's Mar-a-Lago search.
Suspect is dead after that standoff in a cornfield. Two officials familiar with the matter tell NBC News his name was Ricky Walter Schiffer, and he was at the Capitol on January 6th. State police tell us that they tried to negotiate with him and use non-lethal methods, but when he pulled his gun...
How do you know a guy is white? He shot at the FBI, and they tried to take him in alive. A black man runs away. He gets a bullet in the back. Incredible!
At the Capitol on January 6th. State police tell us that they tried to negotiate with him and use non-lethal methods, but when he pulled his gun, they fired. Tonight in Ohio, a violent hours-long standoff is over after authorities cornered a man who tried to break into the FBI building in Cincinnati.
He succumbed to his injuries at the scene.
At 9:15 this morning, the man entered the visitor screening area of the FBI field office, wielding an AR-15 style rifle and a nail gun, which he fired at people, according to 2 law enforcement sources. The suspect then fled in his car, speeding off onto the interstate. At 9:37, state police...
What a great plan, dude. What a great fucking plan. This also proves why gun control works. Because 99% of unstable people are fucking dumbasses. They're not gonna carry out some sort of fucking elaborate plan like that guy who took out Abe was. They'll go to the store, they'll swipe their credit card, they'll take a gun off the fucking rack. That's it. They'll wander to they'll Google FBI office near me. They'll drive to it. They'll get stopped at the screening area, impotently shoot at some walls, and then run away. This is the level of criminal genius we have to face. Also proves, in addition to many other items, that Fox News is a terrorist organization. No shit! The GOP is a terrorist organization!
Police tried to stop the car, but couldn't, leading to a chase through country roads.
Subject supposed to be armed with body armor, fired several shots at officers.
The standoff in a cornfield lasted for hours, with more reports of gunfire.
Once the vehicle came to a stop, gunfire was exchanged between officers on scene and the suspect.
Residents were told to stay inside, and the highway was shut down in both directions. The suspect's motive is unknown, but the incident took place 2 days after federal agents searched Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate. FBI Director Christopher Wray was asked yesterday if he was worried the search could trigger retaliation against the FBI.
He allegedly brought the nail gun because he thought the nail gun would penetrate the bulletproof glass because it's only bulletproof, not nail-proof. His brain was very small.
Any threats made against law enforcement, including the men and women of the FBI, as with any law enforcement agency, are deplorable and dangerous.
Some Republicans responded to the search warrant with calls to take down the agency, including one congressman who tweeted, "We must destroy the FBI." While online, some extremists made direct threats, including the suspect who posted multiple times. One message saying he wanted to kill FBI agents.
I mean, destroy the FBI, you know. Remember when everyone pissed their pants over defund the police? Remember when everyone pissed their little diapies over defund the police?
Meanwhile, in Ohio, relief that a dangerous confrontation is over. State police say no law enforcement were injured. Stephanie Gosk, NBC News, Cincinnati.
Good afternoon. Since I became Attorney General, I have made clear that the Department of Justice will speak through its court filings and its work. Just now, the Justice Department has filed a motion in the Southern District of Florida to unseal a search warrant and property receipt relating to a court-approved search that the FBI conducted earlier this week. That search was of premises located in Florida belonging to the former president. The department did not make any public statements on the day of the search. The former president publicly confirmed the search that evening, as is his right.
Aram, thank you for the 10 months.
Copies of both the warrant and the FBI property receipt were provided on the day of the search to the former president's counsel, who was on site during the search. The search warrant was authorized by a federal court upon the required finding of probable cause. The property receipt is a document that federal law requires law enforcement agents to leave with the property owner. The department filed the motion to make public the warrant and receipt in light of the former president's public confirmation of the search, the surrounding circumstances, and the substantial public interest in this matter. Faithful adherence to the rule of law is the bedrock principle of the Justice Department and of our democracy. Upholding the rule of law means applying the law evenly, without fear or favor. Under my watch, that is precisely what the Justice Department is doing. All Americans are entitled to the even-handed application of the law, to due process of the law, and to the presumption of innocence. Much of our work is by necessity conducted out of the public eye. We do that to protect the constitutional rights of all Americans and to protect the integrity of our investigations. Federal law Long-standing department rules and our ethical obligations prevent me from providing further details as to the basis of the search at this time. There are, however, certain points I want you to know. First, I personally approved the decision to seek a search warrant in this matter. Second, the department does not take such a decision lightly. Where possible, it is standard practice to seek less intrusive means as an alternative to a search and to narrowly scope any search that is undertaken.
He's saying they had to do this.
Let me address recent unfounded attacks on the professionalism of the FBI and Justice Department agents and prosecutors. I will not stand by silently when their integrity is unfairly attacked. The men and women of the FBI and the Justice Department are dedicated, patriotic public servants. Every day, they protect the American people from violent crime, terrorism, and other threats to their safety while safeguarding our civil rights. They do so at great personal sacrifice and risk to themselves. I am honored to work alongside them. This is all I can say right now. More information will be made available in the appropriate way and at the appropriate time. Thank you.
That's it?
FBI agents? Thank you all for your questions, but as I said, this is all I can say at this time.
That's it? Trump hires hashtag billion-dollar lawyer. As top allies of Donald J. Trump are called to testify in Atlanta, he hires a high-profile local attorney best known for representing rappers. This is the Saul Goodman of Florida. Incredible! Amid a deepening swirl of federal and state investigations, former President Donald Trump has hired a high-powered Atlanta lawyer to represent him in an inquiry into election interference in Georgia. The lawyer, Drew Findling, has represented an array of rap stars, including Cardi B, Gucci Mane, and Migos, and is known by the hashtag billion-dollar lawyer. But he has not been a fan of Mr. Trump. In a 2018 post, after Mr. Trump criticized LeBron James, Mr. Findling referred to Mr. Trump as the racist architect of fraudulent Trump University. Mr. Findling said on Twitter that it was a sign of fear that he would aggressively investigate the stench hovering over this POTUS. Yeah, he sounds like a trial lawyer. Of course he hates Republicans. Mr. Findling, who has been an associate advocate of criminal justice reform and a past president of the National Association of Criminal Defense Lawyers, did not immediately respond to requests for comment. Of course. Oh, that's so funny. That's so funny. Big news today. Finally, after seemingly an infinite amount of time, Donald Trump apparently some nuclear weapons info or secrets was part of the data. Now, I can tell you, chat, from my point of view, I doubt. I mean, I don't know. Maybe there is some sort of super classified information. I see, quite frankly, I doubt any of it is anything come at a level that foreign adversaries already know. But maybe there's something that, you know, cryptologically was risky to have out there. Who knows? But as far as secrets go, nuclear weapon secrets seem like a legitimate secret that probably we all don't need to know, right? Like, we need to know more of the high-level stuff about first strike policy or, you know, disarmament or, you know, exactly what the codes are on the bomb is probably something that should be kept secret, right? So if that's the case, and that's what's being reported, we're going to dive into this more. If that's the case, then the raid really is legitimate, and he's a fucking idiot. Are you admitting it was more than menus? I mean, we are fine. You know, the reason why I said it was menus is, or that what I had seen so far was menus, was that's what was said on mainstream media sources. It was like, he kept things like menus and schedules and shit. But we don't really know yet. I don't think we've actually seen any of the documents. So as that stuff gets publicized today, we will talk about it. I think we should just jump on into it, right? Let me see here. we have so much good content today. It's going to be fun. Okay, here it is. Leonard told me the rules and procedures governing the classification, declassification of information apply to everyone else. And that means Trump could have declassified whatever he wished, again with specific limitations soon to be discussed, before carting it off to Mar-a-Lago. He would not have had to file paperwork, just utter the magic words, Leonard told me. He could have waved his hand over the U-Haul trailer as it headed out of the White House driveway and down I-95 toward Florida, and there would have been no classified material in there to mishandle. Leonard notes some important caveats, however. First, his power to declassify ends with his presidency. Second, that U-Haul could be reclassified by someone else. And third, there are certain materials that presidents cannot classify and declassify at will. One such category of material is the identity of spies. Another is nuclear secrets. The Atomic Energy Acts of 1946 and 1954 produced an even stranger category of classified knowledge. Anything related to the production or use of nuclear weapons and nuclear power is inherently classified. And Trump could utter whatever words he pleased, yet still be in possession of classified material. Where are our nuclear warheads? What tricks have we developed to make sure they work? This information is born secret, no matter who produces it. The restrictions on documents of this type are incredibly tight. In the unlikely event that Trump came up with a new way to enrich uranium and scribbled it on a cocktail napkin poolside at Mar-a-Lago earlier this year, that napkin would instantly have become a classified document subject to various controls and procedures, and possibly illegal for the former president to possess. Of course, if he did so, no prosecutor would pursue him. A certain amount of leeway is crucial to the system. If Trump was keeping nuclear secrets in the storeroom of his country club without even the benefit of a padlock, and resisted attempts to secure those secrets against infiltrators and spies, a prosecutor might reasonably take more interest. After all, he's the ex-president, not the Pope. So that seems to be the most important information. Is if it was nuclear weapons, he doesn't have that presidential power that I discussed about earlier to declassify documents. And so that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. If I were Trump, I'd be pretty nervous. Donald Trump tweet on his Truth Social. Nuclear weapons issue is a hoax, just like Russia was a hoax. 2 impeachments were a hoax. The Mueller investigation was a hoax, and much more. Same sleazy people involved. Why wouldn't the FBI allow the inspection of areas at Mar-a-Lago with our lawyers or others present? Made them wait outside in the heat, wouldn't let them get even close, said absolutely not. Planting information, anyone? Reminds me of Christopher Steele dossier. He misspelled... That's not how you spell Christopher. Unless this guy's name is spelled with an F intentionally. No, it's spelled with PF. Trump is just a fucking moron. PH, I said, not PF. PH. That's what I meant. He is a complete dipshit. Holy fuck.
Let's read this together. The Washington Post is just
okay, this is what the
this
chuds
story.
are saying.
They believe the reason why the raid took place is because they were worried that your father-in-law had documents relating to nuclear weapons among the items the FBI wanted back. Experts in classified information said the unusual search underscores deep concern among government officials about the types of information they thought could be located at Trump's Mar-a-Lago club. Did you see any nuclear reports at the Mar-a-Lago club, maybe around the pool, by the lifeguard stand?
Yeah, no, those were not disseminated freely at Mar-a-Lago. Of course not. I mean, who knows? By the way, I think it's a mystery to a lot of people. What could possibly rise to the level of not taking a bit of a different approach and instead raiding the former president's home? I mean, it's just absolutely outrageous, Brian. This is not the country that we've come to know and love for so long.
Yeah, your dipshit con man father-in-law is president. Of course this country is a fucking joke. This is brand new. This has just been reported. This just happened 5 minutes ago. Trump possessed documents classified above top secret that could reveal intel sources on U.S. payroll. So he had like knock lists. He had knock lists. If you don't know what a knock list is, here, I'll pull it up on Wikipedia. In espionage, operatives under non-official cover are operatives without official ties to the government for which they work who assume covert roles in organizations. This is in contrast to an operative who has official cover where they assume a position in their government, such as diplomatic service, which provides them with diplomatic immunity if their espionage activities are discovered. Operatives under non-official cover do not have this safety net, and if captured, are charged as spies and are subject to severe criminal punishments, up to and including execution. Incredible! You know, this is interesting. In pursuing the unprecedented search of Donald Trump's residence on Monday, the FBI was seeking to retrieve top secret and compartmented documents dealing with intelligence sources and methods. Two federal government sources tell Newsweek. Documents with the potential to reveal U.S. intelligence sources, including human sources on the American government payroll. This greatly complicates any public discussion of the documents or any substantiation of Trump's potential violation of U.S. law. The sources who were briefed on the investigation requested anonymity in order to discuss sensitive information. Compartmented is a specific term meaning classified information concerning or derived from intelligence sources, methods, or analytical processes, which is required to be handled within formal access control systems established by the Director of National Intelligence. This includes a variety of different access categories, for example, human, intercept, satellite sources, each of which limits how many people can know the nature of the compartment. One of the government sources says that special access program information was involved in the Mar-a-Lago case, a further category of information limited to an even smaller group of people. Intelligence sources familiar with the classification system and the investigation say that neither the search warrant nor the inventory, if unsealed, will likely answer most people's questions about whether the search was necessary. In order to prove that this was a matter of national security and essential to be done in this way, some detail of what Trump was keeping will have to be revealed. One intelligence officer granted anonymity to speak about an ongoing investigation tells Newsweek. That might be difficult for the government precisely because of the sensitivity of the documents. Under normal circumstances, investigators write a detailed list of all the materials taken from a person or property that is searched, filing a copy of that inventory with the court that approved the search warrant. But in the case of classified documents, the inventory list may be unintentionally vague, or maybe intentionally vague. For example, 10 documents numbered 1 through 10, consisting of 56 pages, stamped top secret and above. Since the assumption is that the search warrant might become public, neither the inventory nor the search warrant would include any classified information. The former president does not have the authority to declassify such documents, intelligence sources say, because they are classified under statute rather than by executive order. Trump's possession of these documents and the fact that he was secreting them away came to light in the course of a multi-month federal investigation that focused on status of presidential records taken from the White House. On Monday morning, FBI agents and technicians arrived at Donald Trump's Florida residence and presented the former president's attorneys a search warrant to retrieve highly classified documents at Mar-a-Lago. According to Trump's spokespeople, the FBI investigators were focused on 3 rooms in the residence. Trump said that the FBI had broken into at least one safe of his, presumably in the Trump office or the bedroom where it was found. The information as to the whereabouts of the documents came from a confidential human source, presumably someone inside the Trump camp. While not acknowledging any details of the investigation, on Thursday, Attorney General Merrick Garland stated that the Justice Department was asking that the search warrant and the inventory of property taken from Mar-a-Lago be released by the court. That request has to be agreed to officially, not just in public statements, by Donald Trump. Given the political firestorm that the search at Mar-a-Lago provoked, questions about the documents are of critical importance. If they are merely routine, as Trump insists, then the search will be seen as politically motivated. The fury might be quelled if the documents are indeed revealed to be highly classified and sensitive, and the Justice Department could prove that the former president was holding on to them with no intention of giving them back. Oh. So, well, yeah, Salman Rushdie got stabbed. Yeah, we saw that. Who do you guys think it is? Who do you guys think it is? Barron? Ivanka? Tiffany Trump? Tiffany doesn't have access to Mar-a-Lago. She's not a member. What do you think Trump was going to do with those documents? That's a joke. That's a joke. Trump really hates his daughter, Tiffany. Melania? Jared? Imagine you are under deep cover in Russia and the intelligence service knocks on your door and drags you to prison. Later you find out the orange man sold you out using docs, took from his presidency in exchange for a hotel deal. Hilarious that this is so believable. I mean, Oh no, CIA agent died. Oh no. Oh no, CIA died. Oh no. Oh no. Best case scenario is that all those agents get caught and Trump goes to prison. Are you watching the stream unsubbed? You're making income inequality worse. You are doing anti-praxis. We are the only Twitch stream that will not accept scam advertisers, and I will never fuck you over by selling you crap.